in the hills where the wildflowers grow. A little girl's laughter still echoes low. Summer's light, though the night feels long. Her spirit lives on in every song. Shine for summer, let a story be told through the voices of the young and the old. Candace holds on through the pain and the tears, searching for hope across the years. Every star in the Tennessee sky carries a prayer, a mother's cry. Though the mystery lingers, the love won't fade. Her memory's a lantern that will never shade. We sing for justice, we sing for peace, for answers that bring a sweet release. Summer's name will never fall away. Her song is alive in hearts
West Ball live look from the Fox.
Shine for summer, let a spirit rise, a beacon of love that never dies. Candace, keep faith, though the road is long. Summer's forever in this song. Shine for summer, kept your baby blanket folded in a drawer, whispered to the silence like you'd walk back through the door. Every birthday candle, every prayer she tried to send, she held on to a promise that the story didn't end. They said time would heal it, but time just made it clear a mother's love don't weaken, it just waits years.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna hit play.
Fox flight team as they fly above the Guthrie home in Tucson. The time in Arizona, 3:45 Mountain Time. Let's check Z. Michael Babcock is here. They're working on a lot out there, and Michael is TMZ's executive producer. You know, Michael, I know that you guys have been trying to figure out what type of jack on that Guthrie surveillance footage is wearing. What have you guys been finding about that?
Thank you for having me. So I want to make sure I get the name of the jacket correct here. So it's called an Aero Hex jacket. And I think it could potentially there's not.
Okay, this doesn't work. I'll just play it from my phone. Because I'm getting very, very annoyed with it. Okay, you know what? If it doesn't want to work, I'll work around it. Hey, y'all. If it's not going to work one way, I'll do it another. But the latest on Nancy Guthrie, what they went into last night, 3 people were contained, and all 3 were let go. So it was a big nothing burger. But I did have some other stuff I wanted to put out here. Everyone knows that I follow Nomad Animal Enclosures. They're an animal rescue out of Oklahoma, or out of
travel on interstate.
Out of Seminole, Oklahoma. And they do tours of their farm. They've got foxes, they've got wolves, they've got all different types of things. They've got ostriches. But let's go to his reel. I wanted to play this one.
If you're traveling Interstate 40 or I-35 tonight like I am, be careful. If you all didn't know it, serial killers and human traffickers are running rampant on those 2 interstate systems. The FBI estimates that hundreds of serial killers are using it, and there are countless human traffickers using it. If you're asking yourself, that can't be true, I would have heard about it. Ask yourself this: did you hear about the California bust where almost 600 arrests were made and hundreds of missing people were found literally just a week ago? No, I didn't think so, because it's not in the mainstream media. You guys can look this up for yourself and see the case that I'm talking about. It was a statewide sting operation, and it's almost like they don't want these things being talked about. It's almost like they want to keep people less aware of these dangers out here on Interstate 40. Now, in our past videos, we've talked about the techniques that serial killers use, like how they'll have a decoy car where they're pretending to need help in one of these long stretches on I-40 where there's no lights, there's no cell phone service. There's a big stretch in Arkansas. There's a huge stretch in Oklahoma, and that massive stretch between like Nashville and Jackson, Tennessee, New Mexico. There's all kinds of these big, like what we call dark zones, where you can go 30 minutes to an hour of having no cell phone service. If you're sitting on those roads late at night, I mean, it can be a pretty good while before anybody else has passed by. There's countless of interstate exits that lead off to countless ways that they can get off of that interstate, and never anyone has any chance of finding you again, because there's just so many avenues they can take. It crosses multiple jurisdiction line, and the communication between police forces are not great. So if somebody abducts you and they cross a state line or cross a few county lines, like you're gone. You're gone forever. No one's going to find you. Like, you might be one of the lucky few, like that in California, that get found. But what did you go through in the meantime? Like a couple months ago, there was a bust where there was 40 missing children found in Memphis on I-40. Okay. And then now this California bust happened. People keep denying what I'm saying is the truth, but then these busts keep happening. The FBI does not like to confirm serial killers until after they're caught, so it doesn't cause panic. So you're not going to find things in the news talking about how many serial killers are on I-40 right now. Okay, just look up how many people go missing and get abducted on I-40. They don't like to claim serial killers because it causes a lot of panic. It can cause a lot of people to demand answers and demand action when they don't know how to address the problem. They don't know how to go after these people. Be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. And if you're a single woman traveling alone at night on I-40, definitely keep your guard up. And for the last time, I am not one of the serial killers that are hunting Interstate 40, okay? I'm trying to just raise awareness. I'm trying to just make y'all not be a statistic.
But it's also raining here today,
give
so
you the best fighting chance you got.
Every patient walks in with a
that could be the
story
reason why
of
I'm having
a moment of uncertainty.
internet issues. Let's see what this one is running.
I swear half of all I do around here is break up fights.
He's got kangaroos.
New evidence has come out that suggests that Kurt Cobain was actually murdered and he did not take his own life. Now, the theory of this has been around since it happened, all right? So if you guys don't know who Kurt Cobain is, lead singer of Nirvana, revolutionist in the music industry. He was in the 27 Club, which if you don't know what the 27 Club rabbit hole is, go ahead and look down that rabbit hole. But a lot of people pointed fingers at Courtney Love. There was a documentary that came out that was called Kurt and Courtney a long time ago, and there was a musician in there that claimed that Courtney Love, offered him $50,000 to take out Kurt. His name was Eldon Hoke, and he died right after he gave this interview. He actually died before the documentary Kurt and Courtney came out. So, add that to the list of this conspiracy. He actually said that even though it wasn't him, he was offered the money. He knew exactly who did do it, and his quote in the documentary is, "I'll let the FBI catch that man." There was her pushback on a lot of different investigative things. Investigators said that she gave them a lot of trouble in talking and communicating. But this new research just came out, and they're saying, hey, we're not trying to put nobody in jail. We're not trying to pursue a lot of avenues because we obviously don't know who did it. But with modern-day technology, not the stuff from the 90s, with modern-day technology, we can relook at these autopsy notes and tell that he was dead before the shotgun wound, okay? Which means that they said that he had necrosis in his brain and his liver, which shows that he was dead from a heroin overdose. The amount of heroin in his body under new review is 70 times the lethal amount to overdose. So back then, they could just tell that there was a ton of heroin in the system. They couldn't tell how, how much like we can today. 70 times the amount of lethal heroin overdose. Now, this is a pretty common tactic when somebody wants to stage a suicide, is that they can give somebody way too much of a, they're doing drugs with them, they're pretending like they're partying with them, but they purposely give them way too much, okay? And somebody might have realized this and thought, oh my gosh, they might be able to tell that this is too much. Or maybe he wasn't dying right away, who knows? And the shotgun blast was done later, okay? This study shows that if he had necrosis in the liver and brain, that he had to have been dead for some time before the shotgun blast happened. Also, the suicide note does not seem to be consistent with his handwriting and handwriting patterns. Further review of the scene, it seems that it was too neat for a typical suicide overdose situation. For example, the heroin needles were all capped and neatly organized. If you know your neighborhood druggie, they're not really worried about organizing their stuff afterwards. So it almost seemed like somebody tried to clean and tidy up to prove that they weren't there. Now, a lot of people have argued that if Courtney Love was there when this happened, and she just didn't want to be to blame for it, that might have caused some kind of staging of a scene. So there's a lot of theories out there, but they are wanting it to be overruled as no longer as a suicide. They're just saying there's way too many inconsistencies. If this were to happen today, it would definitely not be ruled as a suicide. Also, with new computer science, they have ran the scenario in a computer system over and over and over again, showing where the shotgun shell was, where he was, where the weapon was, and essentially the way the weapon had fallen, he had fallen, and the shell casing that would have ejected out of it. The way all of those things would have played out, a computer generator could not get that exact scenario to replay. It was ran over and over again, and that's not the way everything would have fallen, apparently.
Okay.
This is what happened to the famous Taco Bell advertisement dog and a lot of other famous TV and movie animals. So we've been lied to in my entire life. When I was a kid, we used to always run around going there's been 10 or 15 Taco Bell dogs. No, there was one, and her name was Gidget. And she actually lived to be 15 years old, and she appeared in other things besides the Taco Bell ad, which that campaign with the dog only lasted from 1997 to 2000. I felt like that ad went on for my whole life. It went on for 3 years, okay? And Gidget played the dog the whole time, okay? She also appeared in some Geico commercials next to the gecko, and she also appeared in Legally Blonde 2.
Yeah.
She lived to be 15 years old and had a peaceful life. I was lied. We were told that she was run over, that they had to replace the dog a million times. One time, there was a rumor that it fell off the building during a commercial. No, none of that was true. Now, Mr. Ed, the talking famous horse on TV, died in 1970 from kidney issues. It was believed that it died from kidney issues after it was overdosed with tranquilizers. Now, this horse was only about 20 years old, not that old for a horse, okay? Now, everybody likes to say that the horse is buried in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, even though that gravestone in Tahlequah, Oklahoma does say Mr. Ed the horse. That is widely believed to be Pumpkin, his stunt double. So while that horse that's buried in Tahlequah was also on TV, It is not the Mr. Ed. The Mr. Ed was cremated while in California. So Lassie, probably the most famous dog of all time, or at least one of them, was actually a male dog. Now, that dog, the original Lassie, there were 6 Lassie movies and a ton of TV shows of Lassie. All the other Lassies after the original Boy Lassie were his descendants. Like, those were his children and grandchildren. Like, they kept it in the family, and they had the same trainer the whole time. So I thought that was a really neat story. And Lassie, the original one, lived to be like an old dog. Like, that dog was like 15, 16 years old. Clyde, the famous orangutan in the Clint Eastwood movie, his actual name was Manus. And this one's really sad. So he was unfortunately beaten to death by his trainer. I mean, just incredibly sad and cruel. And it doesn't stop there. He was replaced by a different orangutan for the next movie, or for the next show, or whatever he was doing. And that orangutan was also beaten to death by its trainer. Like, sad, sick world. It is extremely hard to find any records of this said trainer. I don't know if it was kept secretive for his own protection, if he was rich, I don't know. But the trainer was actually a part of a Las Vegas show. It had nothing to do with the movie with Clint Eastwood. And here's a really dark one as well. So sorry. This is Flipper. Okay, now everybody, when you think of the Flipper movie series, whatever, you think of the one with like Elijah Wood, right? Okay, so Flipper was a movie in the 1990s. It was a TV show in the 1990s with Jessica Alba, and it was a TV show back in the 60s, and it was a movie back in the 60s. So Flipper, when you refer to Flipper the Dolphin, there was 5 different dolphins that played the role of Flipper. All 5 of the dolphins that were used were female. Does anybody know why? Because I'm about to traumatize the absolute hell out of all of y'all, okay? It's because male dolphins rape and kill people more than sharks attack people. Like, it is, there are more dolphin sexual crimes reported every year than there are shark attacks. Just let that sink in for a minute, okay? There was an episode of King of the Hill where, like, Hank was assaulted by a dolphin. That was all like true stories, okay? Male dolphins in the wild, you ain't supposed to mess with them, all right? Them things can weigh over 1,000 pounds, and they hit you going 35 miles in the water with a lot of sexual energy, you're drowning, okay? It's going to break ribs. It's going to, like, break necks, give people severe concussions, like, man, I don't even want to go down that hole. But shouldn't have said it that way. Don't want to talk about that. Now, none of the dolphins had a great, extraordinary life, except for maybe the first one, Mitzi. She was buried next to a life-size dolphin statue back in like 1972. But the other dolphins were put behind like makeshift like aquarium tanks, literally behind a place called Jim's Jumbo Shrimp. Sounds like a great home. Okay. One of the other dolphins, though, the saddest one, actually committed suicide right in front of its trainer. So this traumatized the trainer, Rick O'Berry, which went on to be an extreme marine and wildlife activist. Like, he has done so many great things for marine life. But anyhow, he was a trainer for one of the original dolphins. And he said the dolphin just held its breath and stopped breathing on purpose right in his arms. Just incredibly sad.
Wow.
You know you're driving around in Oklahoma when you can stop on the side of the highway and watch a buffalo itch its head just on the telephone pole. There's more of them over there. You know you're driving around in Oklahoma when you can stop on the side of the highway.
Well, y'all, I really have nothing because there's nothing really to put out. We can go over and check in with JLR if it will work. I don't know if it's going to work, though. If it doesn't, what I'm going to wind up doing today is just calling it a good day and ending here in about 15, 20 more minutes. Because there's nothing to report on. If there's nothing to report on, I don't see any reason to be alive. But we will go check in with JLR. I do think I'm having problems though, due to the fact that there's updates and we're also getting a shit ton of rain.
On Saturday night, 4 o'clock. The feds got a tip. It was a guy in Coventry, Rhode Island, at a motel, and they're the ones basically said we have a person of interest. Cash Patel put out an email saying we have a person of interest, and there was this sense of relief, like, oh, thank God, it's over. They got who did this. But after that, when they realized that it was the kids at the hospital that told them, no, that's not the guy. You don't have the right guy. Then, the police, everybody had egg on their face because they just wasted a full day and thought they had the right guy. So when he put out the email saying this was a fed up...
Well, guess what? They did the same thing with the Charlie Kirk assassination, too.
Yes.
He said we have someone in custody, a person of interest.
Oh, my God.
And so that was the second. So this could be the third now.
Yeah. Notice also last night,
in the
they were
last year.
saying, we're going to put out a statement shortly. And then they said, oh, the FBI wants us to. So, you wonder the dynamic that's going on right now between the two, because that statement then took forever. They said we'll put it out shortly. It came out 2 hours later, and it was nothing. I mean, there was nothing there. Why was it nothing? Because seemingly they'd let those guys go.
So if we get wind in the next day or two, because Nanos is talking as if there's going to be more detainments. I guess it's based off the thousands of tips that they're getting through. They're finally going through them and eventually go think. If we see Pima Sheriff or the SWAT get deployed, we should pump the brakes a little bit this time and just say, hold on. It could be just for detaining somebody. But though we will cover,
yes,
but not like
no.
Like yesterday it was like it's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday it was like we're getting the person responsible for this.
I mean, I was saying they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't have, and just the way it broke down of like someone was trying to flee, and then they got the Range Rover, and then there's the picture of the guy in cuffs. And then,
a Range Rover.
Close, like, well, how is that involved? And the way they were examining it. But I want to come back to something that, the sheriff told the New York Post, this could take weeks, this could take months, this could take years. I take that, JLR, as they're trying to lower expectations. He's trying to, hey, who knows what could happen. I think the testing that we're waiting to come back from the lab, I got to think that's going to be able to show if there was a print, if they were in the house that long, that could be, you're saying, and I heard, 40 minutes that they may have been.
It was significant time. It wasn't just a quick.
That could be a human hair. That could be a print. They're going through the database. I got to think they have somebody maybe in their sights. Last night, I learned last night they had been tailing those guys like all day. And they knew exactly where they were. I think people need to understand that.
But was the Range Rover guy connected to that house?
They haven't said that.
Because they're not confirming that. Like, that was like a total separate type of operation. But at the same time,
It seemed connected at the same time.
So
well, they're not going to talk a lot about it. If they're not going to put him in custody, that's the last you're gonna. And notice there's no press briefing scheduled.
None. We haven't had one in like 10
the
days.
guy Carlos from the other night. There's no. He's saying he wants an apology, but
So what is your, like, you being out here, you
Yes,
covering this, and you're out
yes.
here, you got your umbrella, you got your tripod, you're walking around. How long do you plan to be here?
I don't know. I'm taking it day to day.
Are you just waiting to see where the next new evidence, new detail, something gets revealed where you'll go follow up on?
I want to see where they're gonna go.
So you're more like waiting to see what gets reported and then go check it out.
I want to wait. Well, I don't know if we have much of a choice right now, and you don't want a dead end. But I think in the next 2 days we're going to get a sense just by following where they're going to go, where the investigation is. Right now, we have no reason to believe that they're not staying local. So do they not have the sheriff walking around?
Yeah, she's doing patrols. We got a sheriff doing patrols.
Huh, okay.
She doesn't.
Okay. I don't know if they make
I think she walks around the side, walks around that side.
Ever since someone sent a pizza to the house.
Pizza was good. Pizza was delicious.
Yeah. I mean, but I also come back, and maybe you can answer the question. I was trying to ask people, and people just come up, but you tell me, like, you cover a lot, just so, and everyone is seeing the same image. But
we'll see the image.
Yeah. What was he like? You tell me. What was his motivation? Right. We both know every crime is motive means opportunity.
Criminal thinking.
Why
demonstrates every criminal thinking error out there.
Yep.
Why was he going in there? Okay. I personally think for there, it's
like why was she valuable? Why did he take her? You know, people saying, you know, that someone else had another motivation.
I could think of every single scenario though. That's the thing. Like, you ever see there's some weirdos out there just like to prey on people, like Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez type person right there, like BTK.
Maybe they know her
in the
from
the Southwest version of BTK or something like that, Southwest Cactus style or something that goes in there. I don't know, but she was taken.
Yes, see, that's the key.
She was taken
to me.
And can that sole person do this himself, lure someone out in that sense? Himself.
But then what? And then what? Do they drive away?
And then for what?
Right. Like,
why do you want a 84-year-old woman in your vehicle as a possession? Why do you want to take this woman and to do what?
Right.
Torture her somewhere? Hold her the ransom stuff, which we haven't heard nothing else since now.
No,
I think that's
zero.
Weird.
Yes.
Could it be a way it was designed to make it look like she was kidnapped, like a kidnap, send a hoax ransom to make it look like the motive here was more of a ransom stuff, but it was really for some other reason, like her money or wealth, will.
Okay. We don't know how much of that.
Inheritance.
There's wealthier people.
Powers of attorney.
Yeah.
Finances, or she's a witness.
But again.
Something. Quickly.
Wait, I was saying
it's high risk, but they demand the money quickly. They don't drag this out 2 weeks.
No, you wouldn't want to bring an 84-year-old woman with you. If that was, let's say Savannah was the target, well then I would think like Annie or the brother, because at least they're younger, and then they'd be easier to keep them alive. Maybe the sister would. But I come back to, okay, you want to, let's just say someone wanted to, for whatever reason, get rid of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, who plays that, how do you pronounce that game that she plays? It escapes me at the moment, but she plays this board game, and she's in a book club, and she watches, she's very prayerful, and watches Mass with her friends, and then why isn't it just a home invasion that, and then, people come and the place was robbed, and then she's there without a pulse. Like, the part that I find the most stunning and just puzzling, and I know it's puzzling to them, is where the abduction comes in. That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all as to why, because if anything, you put yourself, as you said, you put yourself at tremendous risk. You know, we've heard stories where there's someone traveling on the interstate and then, you know, there's someone in the trunk or, you know, that they have captive or things like that. The more you take someone, the more it increases the chances of their DNA. Bless you.
Thank you.
So that is the part that I...
Well, not only that, but you get pulled over.
Yeah.
You get pulled over. I mean,
Who's that?
who really wants to have
Yeah.
a body in your
Like-
in your vehicle
Right, like Billy Batson
on a long
Goodfellas,
period of time?
You know?
Like,
yeah.
alive.
I mean, and there's so many things that can go wrong. You know, Timothy McVeigh pulled over after Oklahoma City, and
the
then,
plate.
Yep. And
The
then,
plate.
You know, they held him, and then they eventually let him go. But like, so many things can go wrong. So how did he pull it off, and what's his motivation?
Well, it goes back to local.
Yes.
You're up here.
Yeah.
You're in the Catalina foothills.
Yep.
And the chances of seeing a Pima County sheriff at nighttime is slim to none.
Yeah. No. You're not.
Listen, we've been out here for 2 weeks, week and a half.
Yep.
I'm hanging out, driving around neighborhoods and stuff. None of my live feeds have captured any Pima County sheriff
No.
patrolling at night.
Not at all. No.
None. So where are they? And somebody might know that they just have zones, only allocated a certain amount of sheriffs, deputies to patrol the area, know that this area is kind of like, since there's no crime here, there's no Pima County sheriffs needed in this area, and they're allocated to the high crime area instead of here. There's no crime around it. They only
No.
respond to maybe traffic accidents or
Right.
actual calls,
Right.
but that's it.
Yeah. You know what I think is actually not a good sign is them saying, you know, well, we're going to drill down on the backpack. I mean, if that's where they're at, that is not good. You're going to drill down.
Well,
and
now they're
figure
saying the
out-
holster. Experts are saying the holster
Okay,
that he had on him
that could
also
be-
came from Walmart. Now.
Okay,
That's
so maybe
the new
the two
report
of
that
them
just came out.
Okay,
So-
two of them purchased
If that's
together.
the case,
If that's the
that
case.
would be interesting.
Okay.
You know,
Unless they
a
pay
Walmart
cash, but
shopper,
yeah,
a Walmart shopper,
committed
a
this.
Walmart shopper committed this. So someone that got some of the stuff seen, the holster and the backpack. Now the holster's just this is just experts thinking this. Fox News got an expert says they think the holster of the individual possibly be purchased at Walmart, a certain brand at Walmart. So then that goes with the backpack.
I actually
Walmart shoppers. Well, how many Walmarts are in this area?
Right.
4 or 5 up here in this northern part of the area.
Not many. No. So
But is that his needle also in a needle in a haystack? How do you really
Right.
find out who bought a backpack at Walmart, and can you have that ability to do that?
yeah,
I mean,
I come back to that Saturday
I'm gonna
night.
take it to Popeye Amazon.
What if they didn't
it's
buy it
actually
from
2
Walmart?
weeks
What if
ago
they bought it from a
tonight?
Goodwill or a secondhand store?
So she supposedly,
that's it,
if
dude.
the timeline, everything's intact.
And some,
She's back here, 9:30, 9:45, inside, and then somebody shows up. How do they get in? And then how do they get out? I think you had said the other day, do they use the circular driveway? Do they text someone, we're in motion? Did the car park up there, or truck, or vehicle?
some people say the perp came up and didn't specifically go to the door handle, as if the perp knew someone was in there to let him in after the camera gets yanked.
Interesting.
You know, they
Yes.
didn't actually, when you first go up to a house,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Or
So maybe
turn,
they haven't
knew
revealed
someone else was in there,
was already inside.
already in from the back maybe,
Okay.
or some other.
So that person, what we're seeing, was just to be let in by the person inside.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I mean, but there's no
Yeah.
indication that's 2 people. I mean, they put it
No.
out as if it's 1 person.
Right.
But so it's just an entire mystery. You're out here, doing your thing, and
Yeah.
and any final things you want to add or anything?
Just, with Kohlberger, I mean, that was no connection to the victims. So, that was bizarre, right? I mean, when you think about that, so this strikes me, JLR, as it is, and the same thing with Luigi Mangione. He didn't know Brian Thompson. It wasn't a robbery of Brian Thompson. He hadn't been a disgruntled worker that worked at United Health. He just formulated this plan And he also, you know, for everyone that they talk about Luigi Mangione and the way he got caught, but initially, you know, he took his bike through Central Park and then got on the bus, and they didn't know who he was. If the mother had not reported him missing from San Francisco, they didn't have a lead on him. So I think, again, about this, what I think it just makes it so difficult is this one of those crimes that, like I said, there's no robbery. This isn't a former employee. It's so bizarre on why she would be
It's a
targeted,
neighbor.
and we don't know that. We don't know that. They haven't unveiled that as of yet.
So, you know, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, not
I
going
appreciate
anywhere.
your time. Thank
All
you.
right, bro.
Thank you.
All right, folks.
Be
JLR.
safe. Be safe,
There he
John.
is,
Thank you
folks.
for your time.
Hardest working guy.
Oh, I'm flattered.
He
Thank you.
is. And the number
You're doing great
of
work out here.
people
Thank
on
you.
YouTube that share your streams.
There you go.
Of control.
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
Sharing is caring. Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Be safe. All right. So he's out here streaming and, you know, to his viewers and whatnot. So we want to get different people's perspective, of course, that's been out here, boots on the ground. Anyone else that's out here or you're living in the area, you want to talk, come out and say hi, share your thoughts, an idea, a suggestion, some sort of possible scenario. They received 18,000 tips. 18,000 tips. We're saying all types of things in the tips. So what we're gonna do, I think let's go over to the other location for a bit. Check it out. See what's popping over there. See if there's anything brewing. We'll go back to that people that got detained last night. See if they're home. See if anyone's in front of their house. We'll go take a walk. Shall we? Let's go take a walk. I mean, we'll take a drive. Another road trip, folks. Back and forth. Kind of what we're doing today. A lot of cars, batteries, gas, generators, little media trucks. Media trucks babbling in there in their cars. People say stay hydrated. It's actually cooler today, which is not bad at all. It's a little warm. Almost at its peak time. Beautiful mountains in the background. These are $1 million views out here, especially with the sunsets and everything. It's just a nice neighborhood. I mean, if you like that Southwest feel, if you like it warm in the summer, hot. I mean, look at that, how gorgeous that is back there. Stunning. Hello. Get the peace sign. Run around in the Bronco. Bronco's nice. Bronco Sport. I can get one of these days, maybe. Bronco Sport. All right, I'm gonna put this tripod in. We'll take a couple places. We'll go see, scout out the area. And we shall see. Shall we? Make sure you stay hydrated when you're out here. We love Gatorade. It's good.
Here we go, guys. I've got an
All right.
update from People
On the
Magazine.
move.
I'm going to go ahead and mute for a minute. No arrests made in Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case after police stormed a home nearby abducted site. Authorities executed a court order search warrant at the residence based on a lead we received on February 13th. Police say authorities stormed the home located 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home, abducted site in the evening of the 13th. No arrests were made in efforts in which law enforcement executed a search warrant based on a lead. Officially searched the home and an older woman who lives with her son, adult. After authorities were seen swarming the residence near Nancy Guthrie's home late at night, police said no arrests had been made. If JLR would have listened to me last night, this shit is getting so crazy. But I knew Friday the 13th would be.
Refreshing out here. Mountains are gorgeous. These neighbors have all these yellow ribbons. There's just nothing new today. Thank you. Thank you, just Jamie. Very grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Justin Henderson. Justin Henderson. Justina. I saw the A at the end. Justina Henderson. My apologies. Thank you. Justina Henderson. Where is Nancy Guthrie? I'm tempted to go into the Walmart and look for the backpack. Brandy Mendel. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Brandy Mendel. A lot of people have a lot of nice cars around here. It's one thing I notice in these neighborhoods.
You're gonna find nice cars all over too.
Thank you, Bobby Daniels.
Now my car is a nice car up there.
Thank you, Zeb, JLR for a cup of mojo. I might get a couple mojo. Seriously, I got a headache today. Wow. All right, so yeah, it's breezy. It's feeling good. It's like this. Feeling good. Feeling real good. First Avenue. Feeling good. Feeling real good. Now, you know, authorities still say it's possible if DNA comes back, these people that got detained and released, they could be suspects. Probably they would have to submit DNA. Maybe by warrant, maybe by consent. Happened in this neighborhood here. I mean, you know, very well one day they could be suspects. Again, I'm not saying they're suspects now, but they got warrants for persons of interest, I guess. Persons of interest. We are persons of interest on the scanner. Tatted silverback. Tatted. Thank you, tatted. Oh.
I mean, there's like nothing going on today.
Tina
guys.
Lee. 37, thank you.
Now, what I might do is come back live if something does kick off today, but at this
the feds
point,
and the sheriff's
I'm
came back here
exhausted.
in the back of this cul-de-sac to get the perp. But they ended up not being the ones. And it was a mom and son here. Media are here. Look at all the media here.
Nicholas, will you go make sure the front door is locked? And the back. Well, if you ran a little bit quicker, you'd already had it done. Y'all, I just heard something weird, and I don't think it was on there. I just heard 3 gunshots. It would be nice if you'd get up and get it done. Okay. Sorry, y'all.
The media is at the perp, or the people that got cleared. So the media wants the story. They're waiting for this. I'm gonna see if the person has returned home. Or people. This is their house right here. We were the first people to report this morning. Oh, they got their media cameras and everything. This is the house. Here, I'll some people might be seeing this for the first time, so I'll get out. This is where they went and scooped these people up yesterday. SWAT. 6280. Kelly, thank you. That tarp was on that car this morning, and somebody took it off. What happened to the car? They left it a mess. This is the house. Media's out here waiting for them to come home. But they come home, do they even got a garage? Yeah, they got a garage. They got a 2-car garage, so they might just go in through the garage. Anybody arrive home? No. Empty. Like, I'm not coming back here. They have cacti at their house too. We are at the home where that raid happened yesterday, where they detained 2 people. It all went down here. They haven't been back since. They're not locked up anywhere. They haven't been released.
Well,
Media is out here waiting for them. They want to know who they are. I mean, it's pretty easy to determine who they are. Third one was detained at the Culvers. So that's 3. 3. 2 here, 1 at Culvers. So, all right, let's go to Culvers. I tried to speak to somebody, an employee there last night. She didn't want to speak. But I thought somebody actually got killed there. At the Culvers. Now, could these people be suspects down the line? If DNA comes back, who knows? I would say no, because I don't think their DNA is going to come back on this case, because the house is not a crime scene. Pretty much had your shot. It's at the back of a cul-de-sac.
yeah, it looks boring. Y'all, if anything happens, if anything seems to
park here for a
stop
second.
today, I will come back live and let you
This is the home here on the left.
know. For now, bye.